How will the future of SEO be like? And I asked that question at BrightonSEO, one of the world's largest SEO conferences, where there is real experts in the industry, and we get to ask them these questions. So let's go and hear about the future of SEO. The future of SEO, how do you think that will turn out?
Yeah, I'm optimistic, right? I think SEO is more than anything, it's a skill set. It is a bunch of people that like playing with systems and pushing them to their limits. And even if like traditional SEO changes a lot, that skill set is still going to be so useful. We're already seeing it now as people try and understand how LLMs work, how you can like optimize for LLM visibility. That problem-solving mindset will never go away and never stop being useful. So our job will change, but I think the core skill set, the people that do it, SEOs are always going to be very useful to a company.
How do you think it will develop in the future from here?
From here, I think we will start to see the sort of upper limit of how much traffic you can get from search engines. I think, every year it increases a little bit more and more and more, but I think we are going to reach a point where there's like not any more Googling that can be done on a weekly basis by anyone. And other tools will come in and you'll have to diversify how you're approaching where the traffic comes into your website. Well, I guess the good news is that a lot of the stuff that SEOs do really well already still applies to a lot of these AI tools as well. Like ChatGPT is based around Bing, and Bing information all comes from the same sources. So I think, building links and authority is still going to be a big one to prove that you're a big enough brand that is reputable enough, and having a good website that people enjoy using will still be important. So a lot of the things you're already doing still apply, really.
And how do you think that the future of SEO will look like?
It's going to get even more wild, I think. Everyone knows that traffic and click-through rates are going to be very difficult to measure. Zero-click is here to stay. Not just within Google, but with all the new Gen AI platforms as well. So we live in a zero-click world, so people are going to have to get really creative.
And how are we as marketers going to deal with that?
I think learning how to communicate outside of SEO is something we've been talking about for years, but learning the language of other teams, we found share of voice to be a really effective way to communicate that outside of search teams too.
Cool. Share of voice?
Yeah, share of voice is kind of defined separately or differently depending on how you look at it, in what context, but within the context of Google SERPs, we measure it as what is the influence visually that Google is having with all the different SERP features relative to all the different rankings. But if you take that into the context of like ChatGPT or Perplexity, they don't have as many SERP features yet. And so it's more of a straight who is winning, who's losing type thing, looking at the domains that are here.
How do you think that the future of SEO is?
I think SEO is becoming more challenging as Google takes on more of the ownership of user experience itself. But I don't think SEO can go away, because even if Google reduces the amount of search available, you have other specialized platforms, Deliveroo, Just Eat, Amazon, eBay. In some ways, search is becoming more democratized.
Cool. And how do you think we as marketers can take advantage of that?
Well, there's a number of different techniques, and some of them are very, very simple. You take the age-old tried and tested methods, see if they work on new platforms. If they do, repeat, and if not, tweak.
How do you think the future of SEO will be like?
I think the future of SEO now has to start looking more and more closer into the journey of the consumer, even closer than ever before. If in the past we were looking at SEO as one siloed marketing channel, this is no longer the case. Us as marketers, sometimes we are in competition with Google. We're not getting the clicks we used to. And we need to look at our consumer holistically and really understand what are the keywords and the phrases that we're actually using and the topics that are top of mind. So our content is actually supporting their need, but actually the intent that originally they had behind it. Those best practices also will work them from LLM perspective, because LLMs are bots. They want to understand your content well, and they want to serve it to the need of their users who are coming to them when they're seeking information.
Cool. And how do you do that?
So a couple of things. First of all, it starts with making sure you bring that visibility into your organization. So no longer just like bring the information and talk about the technical makeup of the pages, and what you got to use, but you actually start to bubble up your competitive analysis, both on who are your competitor, but not only who your competitor, but who your competitor holistically, right? On these LLMs, on these various LLMs, and on these different sources of traffic that you bring. Second, that voice of the consumer is constantly evolving, and consumers are adopting and adapting really fast. So that has to find itself not only in your content for SEO, but actually for your paid marketing as well, because they're interested now in topics that are more in depth behind them. So your strategy is really should be informed by those insights back into the organization and constantly reviewing it, because things are changing really fast.
Will AI have any impact?
It has already some impact, but can we say like in the end of 2022 when ChatGPT was released in the end of late 2022, so everybody waited like Google will, I can say, disappear in a year or two and everything will change so much completely, but it's not. It's again one more tool that we use, that maybe your mom used already, but the whole thing still Google number one. Okay, AI growing, search in ChatGPT, but we have what we have and what we had before.
Just on top of my mind, what do you think the future of SEO will look like?
I honestly think, I mean, it's kind of, no one knows, but from my perspective, I think it's going to be an interesting mix of, like the blue links that we see right now. And also at the same time, the informational queries happen on these AI chat platforms. So basically, how it would evolve would really kind of depend. But of course, search in itself would be there. But for specific kinds of searches, it would happen in different places. So to give you an example, if you are Gen Z, you are probably searching directly on TikTok or on Instagram or YouTube Shorts. That's where you understand much faster, much better, right? As compared to if you want to look for a product, you would directly go to Amazon and look for that product there instead of searching on Google in most cases, right? So that is, I think it's all about search everywhere optimization going forward. So SEO, it's more about search everywhere optimization, where you are, wherever your customer is, that is where you are, and it's not just limited to blogging or anything. You need to be on video, or you need to be also on AI engines or whatever. It depends on where your target persona is. So just figuring that out and optimizing for those channels rather than just being specific to Google is like the next big thing there, I would say.
Cool. How do you think the future of SEO will be like?
Again, I think moving on from kind of differentiation, again, that's something that people need to do. People need to work out how to use AI properly. They need to find I hate the word niche, but people need to find something that makes them stand out, something that makes them work, so that, when they're working with clients and stuff, the clients will go to them for a specific reason rather than, oh, this is just another SEO company.
And then, if you mind, a little bit more to the future of SEO?
It's the same place, because this isn't going to go away. AGI is coming.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. And so AGI is, actual general intelligence or artificial general intelligence. That means that there's a machine out there that is operating as a human being, for all intents and purposes. If a human being misunderstands who you are, they will make mistakes and they will do something damaging to you. If you, so again, this whole thing goes to the point at which, at least when the machines know more than we do and they can do things for us, you at least want them to know who you stand for and what you are. I think it's going to go for a long time. We've only just started. For me, it feels like the Wild West of SEO that I used to have as back in my Yahoo days. I see where my conversation last time now.
That's amazing. So that was it about the future of SEO. Search is evolving. So if you want to stay ahead, then you have to adapt. And let's be clear, SEO is not dead. It's still one of the most effective marketing strategies right now. And if you like content like this, subscribe and see you in the next video.